Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village nestled between rolling hills, there lived a curious young girl named Laila. She had a wild imagination and a love for exploring the unknown. While other children played games and followed the rules, Layla found her joy in wandering the woods, searching for hidden treasures, and reading stories of distant lands. She often dreamed of a world full of magic, where the impossible could become possible. One crisp autumn morning, as she strolled through the village, Layla noticed something unusual near the edge of the forest. Among the fallen leaves and branches, a small golden key lay half buried in the moss. It gleamed in the soft sunlight as if calling to her. She knelt down and gently picked it up, feeling an odd warmth spread through her fingers. The key was unlike any she had ever seen. Intricate patterns were carved into its surface, and it seemed to shimmer with a faint glow. Layla stood up, turning the key over in her hand. What could this open? She wondered aloud. Without thinking twice, she made her way toward the deep woods, hoping to find what the key might unlock. The forest was thick with the scent of pine, and the light filtering through the trees gave the world an enchanting golden hue. Layla followed a winding path, her heart racing with anticipation. She had no idea where it would lead, but she couldn't resist the pull of adventure. As she ventured deeper into the woods, she noticed something strange. The air seemed to hum with energy, and the trees grew taller, their branches twisting and curling in unusual shapes. Soon, Layla came across a large wooden door, standing alone in the middle of the forest. It was adorned with intricate carvings and a strange, glowing lock. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized the key she held might be the one that would open the door. Without hesitation, Layla inserted the golden key into the lock. The door creaked and groaned as if it had been closed for centuries, but after a moment it swung open. On the other side was a land that was nothing like the world she had known. It was a world of wonder, of colors so vibrant they seemed to leap off the canvas of the sky. Giant mushrooms towered beside the path, their caps as wide as houses, and flowers bloomed in shades of purple and blue that Layla had never seen before. The air sparkled with a soft, magical glow. Layla stepped through the door, her breath catching in awe. She could hardly believe her eyes. As she explored the new world, she heard a familiar voice in the distance. Turning around, she saw a white rabbit dashing through the tall grass, dressed in a waistcoat and carrying a pocket watch. "I'm late! I'm late!" the rabbit exclaimed, rushing past her in a hurry. Layla's curiosity got the best of her, and she quickly followed the rabbit, running through the meadow with excitement. As she chased the rabbit, she came to a clearing where the ground seemed to shift and change with every step she took. Flowers hummed gentle melodies, their petals fluttering like butterflies, and trees swayed with no wind to move them. Layla was mesmerized by the beauty of it all, but she was also puzzled. "Where am I?" she wondered aloud. A voice, deep and mysterious, answered her from behind. "Ah, you must be in Wonderland, my dear." Layla turned to find a tall, grinning cat floating above the ground. Its smile was so wide it seemed to stretch from one ear to the other, and its eyes glowed with a mischievous gleam. "Wonderland?" Layla asked, confused. "What is this place?" "This is a land where things are not always what they seem," the Cheshire Cat explained. "Up is down, left is right, and nothing stays the same for long. But you, my dear, have come at the right time. A great adventure awaits you." Layla, eager to discover the secrets of this strange world, continued her journey. She soon came across a grand tea party hosted by a Mad Hatter and a March Hare. They were seated at a long table, surrounded by an assortment of teapots, cups, and plates piled high with cakes and pastries. The two of them seemed to be engaged in a never-ending conversation, talking over each other and laughing at the silliest of things. "Would you like some tea?" the Mad Hatter asked, pouring an endless stream of tea into a cup that never seemed to fill. I don't know," Layla said, laughing. "This seems a bit strange." Strange, the March Hare exclaimed. Everything in Wonderland is strange, but that's the fun of it, isn't it? Layla spent hours with the Hatter and the Hare, listening to their riddles, puzzles, and nonsensical stories. The longer she stayed, the more enchanted she became by the strange rhythms of Wonderland. Yet she knew that there was more to explore. As she wandered through the land, she encountered a giant caterpillar smoking a hookah, floating lazily in the air. It took one long look at her before exhaling a puff of smoke and saying, "Who are you?" "I'm Layla," she replied, "but I'm not sure where I am." The caterpillar narrowed its eyes and puffed another cloud of smoke. "That is the question, isn't it? Who are you indeed?" it mused before disappearing into the mist. Though puzzled, Layla thanked the caterpillar and continued on her way, knowing that there were even stranger things waiting for her. Soon, she arrived at the edge of a large, beautiful garden. She gazed at the vibrant flowers and bushes, admiring the colors of the roses, when she heard a loud, angry shout. "Off with her head!" the voice boomed. Layla turned to see a woman with a crown, dressed in red and white, marching toward her with an army of card soldiers at her side. The Queen of Hearts was a fierce ruler, known for her love of croquet and her short temper. "Who dares to enter my garden?" the Queen demanded. I didn't mean to intrude," Layla stammered, taken aback by the Queen's fury. The Queen's eyes narrowed. "You'll pay for your disrespect, little girl. Off with her head," she shouted, raising her hand in command. But Layla was quick-witted. She remembered the advice of the Cheshire Cat. Nothing stays the same here. Thinking fast, she played along with the Queen's games, answering her riddles and solving puzzles that kept the Queen distracted. Each time the Queen tried to command her soldiers, Layla would use her cleverness to outsmart them, causing confusion among the ranks. Eventually, after a long day of riddles and games, the Queen grew tired of her endless attempts to defeat Layla. "You may go," the Queen grumbled, "but remember, no one escapes Wonderland so easily." Layla, feeling triumphant, continued her journey deeper into Wonderland. She soon reached a crossroads where a mystical door appeared before her. This door, unlike the first, was not golden or adorned with intricate designs. Instead, it was simple, made of plain wood, with a sign that read, "To stay or to go." Layla stood before the door, her heart heavy. She had fallen in love with the whimsical, unpredictable land of Wonderland, but she knew she had a home to return to. It was time to make her decision. With one last glance at the magical world around her, Layla stepped through the door, back into the forest. As the door shut behind her, the key vanished from her hand. But Layla knew something important. Wonderland was not just a place. It was a state of mind, a world that lived within her heart. And whenever she needed to escape, to dream, or to seek an adventure, she only needed to close her eyes and remember the magic of Wonderland. And so she returned to her village, her heart forever touched by the wonders she had seen. From that day forward, whenever she wandered the woods, she could feel the magic of Wonderland calling her, waiting for her next adventure. And Layla knew that Wonderland would always be there, just a door away.